Hi everyone, just a quick video. What you're looking at here is a Pi R33 from 1959. It's nearly 11:30 at night now, so I'm just having a quick overview of this little thing. It's, it's obviously printed circuit board and that, and I'm just going over it. We're pretty mucky inside, and UCH 81's gone to air. Let's see, put some light on it here. Bit of light. Speaker all looks intact and that. There's a couple of capacitors underneath which I'm not going to rip about and chuck about this chassis because it's still tied to speaker. I was looking. I do work on transistor stuff as well, and I was looking at schematic to this earlier, it's just come to mind. And I don't use the relay, every bit if on simpler radios like this. But it's well made for what it is. It's just tiny. I was looking at the schematic earlier, and like you get to these, these caps on PC board, caps and resistors, and obviously traces on these. They're really old now. What old is this? So it's like, yes, it's 60 odd year old, and traces come away if any of that do this. You've got to be careful with these traces. So what I tend to do, if I can, if it's possible, is I'll cut from top of board, if it's possible, and don't make a mess, or don't look a mess. I'd rather cut from top of board and use old legs. But I get that many people saying, "Oh no, you've got to desolder," and well, you can do a lot of damage, with your soldering iron on these boards. I mean, they're really old and fragile. Tracers really are. And if I can just find schematic 2 seconds where it tells you, I can just put it there. Well, I'll get some focus. This schematic actually, if you look, it actually says what I've been saying for ages, about cutting them. So, do you know what I mean? It says, was it for quick replacements, resistors and condensers can be replaced by clipping out, was it the defective component, and soldering new wire ends, was it left from the original part. Anyway, that's basically what I do anyway, but I've never seen it confirmed, that it's okay to do that. Everyone's always like, oh no, you've got to do it this way, you've got to take them all out and desolder everything. And it's always bugging me because a lot of times you don't need to. It makes it easier, and you just know you're not going to damage stuff. Like, it's so easy to damage these tracers. And if you want jumper wires everywhere and headache, it's up to you. But if I can possibly do it, I will just clip them. And it's not just the easy way. It's to me, it's a more sensible way. Put this down right now. The cabinet's got some plastic burn, if you know what I mean, cable burn. With line cable, power cable. It's come into contact with this startup sometimes, this red cabinet. 2 different plastics, and there's a reaction, and it burns a groove in over a period of time when it's left like that. If we look inside, from caps underneath, there's a few caps underneath. You can see wax. I've already moved some. You can see wax where it's been melting. So it's been left burning away at some point. And just, I don't know whether it's get up ghost or whatever. I don't know. So I haven't checked any resistors or caps. Basically, all caps are just about going. I've got a thing if main electrolytics, smoothing capacitors, or whatever you call filter capacitors in America, if they're reforming, are alright. These are usually good. Now I know you can say, oh yeah, but the ancients and stuff. Well, you can kind of tell. You can kind of tell a lot of times, when it's not right. So I will bring it up and let them reform a bit and see how they go. But I do like to keep some original parts if I can. Obviously, I don't want anything to be detrimental or what. I just wanted to show you this anyway. It's just because it's been in my way, to tell you the truth. And I've got, when you get something a bit more special and fancy stuff, and I haven't been able to do it because of time, but I'm gradually getting my time back. And I'll be using my workshop, shed down again after a few years. That little one's like older and stuff. We get a little bit more time. Anyway, I just wanted to show you. So I'll be going around these. There's a cap down here somewhere. But what I'm gonna do for the next 20 minutes or so is have a little clean up. But it's getting very late. But I thought I'd show it you before I actually, before I actually work on it and that. We'll see what happens with it. I've got another. What's it? UCH 81. I've got another one of them somewhere. You can see it there. I've got a good one of them, I'm sure. And we'll see what else has gone. It does have a selenium rectifier. This is just 3 valves, and it has a selenium rectifier, a metal rectifier. Now, in my experience, if they're testing good and it's working, honestly, unless you're going to be using it constant and leaving it and stuff, you can tell if it's good. Again, if you've got any knowledge, unless you want to feel sick. I mean, if I were doing it for someone else, I'd probably chop that selenium out. But I've got like an experiment going with this old GEC compact from 1954, and I've only replaced parts that seem to be going, and that's not a lot. That's not a lot, and that's got a lovely selenium rectifier in there, big one, and it's just bang on voltage all the time. I make sure I play it no matter what, if I'm there like for say 3 hours a day, and that's for 6 years now. And rectifier's not, do you know, it's still behaving perfect. Resistor next to it, bang on value. So after I think it were, I replaced a couple of caps, and then there were another electrolytic. Main filters capacitors are really good, spot on. But one cap will leak in DC a bit. I changed that last year, and it's performing unreal, like really good, like new. So, and it's got a W77 in this GC, and it's more or less dead, but it's still playing great. So it's just an experiment, see how long things can last, and and how long before you have to change certain things. And you've got to watch out for people scaring you, saying, "No, you better replace all this, everything." Well, if you've got a little bit of knowledge and you give yourself a bit of time, you'll know when stuff needs to be done or whatever. Anyway, that's a rant at nearly midnight on, was it, Monday 29th of January already. Gradually I'm getting there. I've got some lovely big projects. Beautiful old American Crosley I can't wait to work on. And I've asked with Society at Crosley and no one's seen one. I did pick that up earlier last year, and it was a very expensive thing. It must have been fetched over here a long time ago. And I can't wait to open that up. I need to do that on my workbench. Anyway, so we've got a nice valve gone to air there for a starter. There's some caps that don't look very nice underneath, some waxy ones. And the rest of this is just it's just mucky. It's just mucky. Wants to clean up and some testing doing. If values are all right, and hopefully I'm leaving them in. If everything's in value, I'll just keep it. You know what I mean? It's what's the point? But caps, yeah, the caps are all going. Maybe smoothers will stay there, depending on how they reform and how they perform for afterwards. When I'll just get a good run for a long time. And this is not my favourite type of valve or tube set. Printed circuit board with tubes. I don't particularly like it, but it's very easy to play about up here. Should be anyway, but we'll see. Next time I show it, you might be big hole burnt in, big hole burnt in the board and loads of jumpers. Anyway, good night and God bless everybody. I better get some sleep soon. Thanks for listening.